Hello everyone and welcome back to FilmBot YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be doing a review on the brand new Toon Blaster, added this year as of 2020. So, Toon Blaster has had a comeback with an enormous bang this year, hasn't it? An enormous bang. Now I'm really pleased and excited to do this review. I didn't say I was going to do a review, but it took ages to get onto it. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get started on the review. As you make your way down the steps, you head into the normal double doors on your right, which is obviously into the tomb. Now, usually on the past day there was a member of staff standing there who was obviously directing you. You used to peek through these doors here, and then you'd like open them up really quickly to make you jump. That's quite good. Now, in the market scene here, they've added new kind of, I don't know what they're called, smellitizers, and they've added new smell, like a market smell. There's also a conversation of two people, a woman and a man. They're talking about, obviously, the new ancient priest has risen. And obviously here there's the prophecy. I assume it's prophecy. I don't know. Not much of the set has changed, apart from this over here, which has diagrams of maps, and obviously you can see there it has Abdab and the snake. And there's part maps of those drawings over the circling rides. And those are clever little Easter eggs there as well. That's really good. Also, there's some new lighting effects in here. It seems to me they've improved the lighting very vigorously. Lots of the dangling lanterns have actually had their bulbs changed for once, and not just turned off and all dull. It's sad to me they didn't make a new kind of pre-show detailing the story in a way, because they have all these TV screens in the queue, not just in here but in the outside of the queue as well. They could have easily utilised to form a new queue video. As you enter the main station area, there's been a few new changes now. As you can see, the air gates have been repositioned and the real boxes that are in between them have now gone. There's also now a brand new, what's it called? Not kind of safety spill, safety spill. Also, it's part of one of the characters of the ride now. Scarabish Lead, I think his name is. Yeah, he plays like this announcement spill. It's really good and fits in with the theme. It explains your purpose of your trip into the tomb. Now, as you enter the tomb, a lot has changed in this scene. Obviously, it's called the Stone Tiger scene. That triggers a new soundtrack by Nick Hudson. Very good job. He did a very good job on the soundtrack. I really love it. I've even downloaded it on my phone. This is on the bus. Anyway, this is a really good little area because it actually uses this booming voice of this new Prince character. I'm going to explain the story in a minute, but I was going to guide you through the ride first. So then you see they finally actually fixed the rolling boulder scene that has been broken for a long time, since about 2016 I think, with new lighting effects and UV effects as well. It's in around this bit when Scarabish Leader comes over the Tannoid and kind of explains your purpose and says that you're here to break the curse of the prince. And then you go into the first scene, the snake pit scene, which had a lot of improvements in terms of the snakes have been lubricated, the cylinders, so they come up more faster now, and they're also timed to snake sound effects now as well. There's also this really nice green light, if you can see, over the snake pit where the mouth bit feeds out all the snakes. That's really nice as well. All the targets have been reset and refreshed in the ride, although I never ever do the shooting for some reason. I just like watching it all go by, to be fair. Now, as you usually exit the snake scene, it'll just be this normal lit scene, but now they've done it so it's green flashing light. Times it's kind of humming, really good little effect like this is showing here. Usually it would just be like pre-lit, but now it isn't, which is really nice to see. They've fixed that and made it more immersive. So now you're entering probably one of the best scenes of the ride, where you usually would just see this guy who comes out of his turntable. Now he's the prince. This is quite a good scene as well. Also, there is a new lighting effect above these little spikes. If you just saw this bright white kind of square that is on the floor, like bars of a prison, like this moon or something shining, and that's really nice as well. Now, I really wish they programmed this animatronic here with a few normal movements rather than just the pew-pew, kind of movement he's always done. Would have been nice to maybe have a new animatronic there or something like that, than just his old mummy character who's been there since the 2002 retheme of Toon. Now in this bit, basically the prince is explaining, you found him, he's gonna raise his army. Then this will cue the next segment, which is the same as it's always been. Just added some new lighting effects, sound effects, which actually really enhance the scene, which really brings back the old. I've never been on Terratoon, but it brings back, lots of people say, the old memories of the Terratoon bit, where it was all like strobe lighting and flashing lights, which was really reminiscent of Terratoon, I think. He passed under this archway here, which had always been here. Sorry. He passed under this archway. When you see this man here who's throwing his axe at you, which is always a really good little scene. But this is probably my favourite scene they've done. So the jackal statue has been completely redone. You enter in total pitch black darkness. I mean pitch black darkness. And Scarab's leader comes over the intercom and says, he's going to put his searchlight over. And then you disturb the jackal statue. And he is saying something, but because the music in this scene is so loud, it is so loud, this scene, he's kind of muffled. It's really muffled, you can't hear what he's saying. But I do know he's meant to be saying something. Because the idea is the prince, the ancient priest, he can control everything in the tomb. So I suppose that's him talking, I'm unsure though, because the audio is so loud in this scene. Now unfortunately the trauma tunnel effect is still not working. It's not been working. I've never actually ever seen it working as long as I've been going on this ride for, which is about 12 years, probably 12, 13 years probably. And when I was filming this, I realised that the 200 did actually work actually. I was going to say it wasn't working, but now it isn't working. Again, it stopped working. It must be very problematic or something, because obviously it must be finding it hard to keep this effect working. But I don't think this has ever really worked well, to be fair. Quite a big effect to move and work, isn't it? I always think, unless they're done right, trauma tunnel effects never particularly go the right way. So now this is the kind of final battle scene, if you will, of you, the rider, or the expeditioner versus the prince. Now this expedition is about 2002, and they have, I'm not sure whether they've pre-programmed him. I think they have, because as you can see he's doing all his hissing noises, but instead of normal hissing noises like he did before, he's now got proper lines by the prince, and it's really nice. You basically like shoot him, and he gets caught in the trap that you've set for him, which is really nicely done as well. And then there's this beautiful ambience as the scene ends and he's captured. There's just this really low real sound, and then the sound of drips and whispers is just brilliant. It's really good sound design. It's just awesome. Probably one of the best parts of the ride. You just hear this, him dying, and then suddenly this awesome sound ambience just kicks in. Then on the intercom again, old Scarab's lead here comes back on, and then you lost your signal again. So you use a little signal from Scarab's leader, then you go into the final scene, which is obviously where the mummies go drop forward and try and scare you, except this is still, it's done much more brilliant now. It's total darkness, but one of the first mummy who jumps has a light on behind them, so it ruins the effect. That's the only thing I'd actually really say. Now in terms of final thoughts, the ride's brilliant, I love it, but the only thing I would say, in the summer they have these big air vents that open up to the air in air conditioning units. They let in billions and trillions of sunlight. It's so annoying. You're watching a scene and it's just completely covered in sunlight. It's so annoying. And also, a few effects have actually been breaking since this was recorded, this video here, since this was recorded. But I suppose that's not too much compared. The rolling builder stopped working after a few weeks after I went back. This is probably when it first opened, the 5th, I think, on the 5th of July when this was filmed, this video was filmed. So everything was working back then, but apart from that, not much had really broken apart from that, and that's the only complaint. But on that day, it was very hot. The ride broke down 3 times. For a third time I was on it, I was in the long dark section before you do this turn back into the exit station, and it was really cool because they had all these effects that were like broken, but you could see them as well when the floodlights came on. It was really nice to see them all. There's like other different mannequins and things down this bottom floor bit. That was really nice to see. Here is my view on Tomb Blaster. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. I'm Simon, you wanted Film Bot.